So, my apologies. I think it's working now. It's working on this end. I'm going to start this off one more time because I don't think anybody's heard this yet except for us here. But again, thank you for joining us. My apologies for the technical difficulties. As I've said before, I'm operating at peak technological ability trying to make all of this work, and I'm amazed that it works as often as it does. So again, my apologies. This is from my album from a couple of years ago called The Town Where I Live. This is called Goodbye, Alberta. Goodbye, Alberta. I hope your troubles pass. Goodbye, Alberta. They were never gonna last. The rains let up, the clouds are broke. My bags are packed and stashed. Goodbye, Alberta. The storms are fading fast. When I lay down to sleep last night, the rain poured on my head. Thunder rolled on through the night. I believed I'd wake up dead. Alberta, she's a fine one. Her heart's both strong and true. She'll never leave you crying or turn her back on you. Goodbye, Alberta. I hope your troubles pass. Goodbye, Alberta. They were never gonna last. The rains let up, the clouds are broke. My bags are packed and stashed. Goodbye, Alberta. The storms are fading fast. When I lay down to sleep last night, I turned from side to side. Could not rest, I could not sleep. I was just dissatisfied. Alberta, Alberta, don't cry your tears for me. I'll be back, I will be back, that I guarantee. Goodbye, Alberta. I hope your troubles pass. Goodbye, Alberta. The storms are fading fast. Clouds are rough, the clouds are broke. My bags are packed and stashed. Goodbye, Alberta. The storms are fading fast. Goodbye, Alberta. Goodbye, Alberta. Goodbye, Alberta. The storms are fading fast. Thank you very much. So, how does it sound? Any responses or anything? Is everything working?
Yeah.
Does everybody say it sounds okay?
Getting sound now, coming through.
Is it loud enough?
They will let you know. Mike Donahue says it's good now.
Okay, well, okay. Hi to Mike Donahue, Martha Rowley, and everybody that's listening. And again, apologies. As I said, this is, I am at my peak abilities, technologically wise, to make all of this work. Yeah! So we've got these little butterflies that I bought online that kind of looked like a bust when they arrived, but then they turned out to be actually kind of cool because you wind them up and let them go and they fly. And Liam gets a pretty big kick out of them. So got my tuner. I don't need it right now, so you can hang on to it. I need to do another song though. But let me check this real quick. So, as I've said before, when Liam is over, he and I spend a lot of time together. We've gotten to be pretty good friends. So, we hang out a lot. So just because I start playing one of the shows, nothing has changed for him. He's like, hey man, we're still hanging out. I don't know what you think you're doing. So I'm gonna go back a little ways and do a song called Steady Driving Man. I don't need that. You can hang on to it if you like. Want to keep it right there? Where there's cornbread in the kitchen and peaches hanging in the tree. There's cornbread in the kitchen and peaches hanging in the tree. Yeah, but your sweet jelly roll needs some honey from his sugar babe. Yo-dee-da-lo-da-lo-dee, yo-da-lo-da-lo-da-dee. Well, I'm up all night, you know I do the best I can. I'm up all night, you know I do the best that I can. Oh, crazy little mama, to try to make you understand that I'm your ding-dong daddy, your sweet jelly roll, and your steady driving man. Yo-dee-da-lo-da-lo-dee, yo-da-lo-da-lo-da-dee-da-lo-da-dee. Well, I might be a little rusty, I might be a little hard to steer. I might be a little rusty, I might be a little hard to steer. But I will purr just like a kitten, honey, when you shift my gears. Well, I'm up all night, you know I do the best I can. I'm up all night, you know I do the best that I can. Oh, crazy little mama, to try to make you understand that I'm your ding-dong daddy, your sweet jelly roll, and your steady driving man. I am your ding-dong daddy, your sweet jelly roll, steady driving man. Yo-dee-da-lo-da-lo-dee, yo-da-lo-da-lo-da-dee, yo-da-lady. Thank you very much. Where did my tuner end up? Did I kind of, is it over there, honey? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nikki. Kind of check things out here a little bit, but as I said, I've said this, I don't think we were tuned in when I was saying this. It's been beautiful weather here in California the last few days. Today, I know people in other parts of the country and other parts of the world are still very cold. We had a little bit of cold weather here for about 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks, with some rain and some snow. Cold for Southern California, though, which means 50 degrees, 40 at night. It got below 40 a few nights, which that's pretty cold for us here. Ice on the windshield, yeah. Which you don't have any. You don't have an ice scraper. You're using what?
I use a spatula.
Plastic spatula.
People get out there with their credit cards, their debit cards, scraping the.
You gotta get it in.
So it's been a rough 4 years for a lot of people. I wrote this song at the beginning, after the elections. In 2016, this is called the Road to Jericho, and the Road to Jericho runs from Jerusalem to Jericho. It's an old road, it's an ancient road. But in biblical times, in ancient times, it was a dangerous road. It was a treacherous road. You took your chances with robbers and thieves along the road to Jericho. It's where the story of the Good Samaritan from the Old Testament took place along the road to Jericho. So in this song, it serves as kind of a parable for kind of what we have gone through, I guess. A lot of people wondered what was going to happen in 2016. I don't think anybody had much of an idea, and I think the only thing I could think was whatever was going to happen, we would all be going through it together. This is called The Road to Jericho. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, shadows lay across the ground. That old dark cloud is hanging low down the road to Jericho. My father said he'd meet me there with open doors and room to share. My brother begged me not to go down the road to Jericho. My mother's voice called out to me long forgotten memories. My sister warned me, travel slow down the road to Jericho. A stranger soon came passing by, stopped to rest and dry his eyes. He turned and started walking slow down the road to Jericho. Now all our sins are plain to see, and all that's left is what will be, and all the peace we'll ever know is down the road to Jericho. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, shadows lay across the ground. That old dark cloud is hanging low down the road to Jericho, down the road to Jericho. Thank you very much. So, Liam is kind of transitioning out of afternoon naps right now. So he hasn't had a nap, so he's kind of at that frayed end sort of things. Jesse and Nikki and Susie are trying to keep him entertained with the butterflies and anything they can get their hands on. But
Whatever works at this point.
I'm going to do a few songs off of my latest album, which is down here. It's called Love and Desperation. I'm going to do a song that we did a video of that was released a few weeks ago called Big Rain Is Coming, Mama. We had a little bit of rain, as I said here. The last few weeks, there's some big storms in the southeast, a lot of tornadoes. Our hearts go out to anyone that's in the path of anything dangerous, of course. So this is Big Rain. It's coming, Mama. Where the big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the rich folks all leaving, the big boats already left town. Well, I got a rusty old bucket and a busted old knife. Don't look like much, but it might save your life. Big rain's coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the big wind is blowing, Mama, the leaves all starting to fly. Better close up your windows, bring all your chickens inside. Yeah. Starts with a whisper, turns into a scream. Things start to shaking like you've never seen. Big wind is blowing, Mama, the leaves all starting to fly. Hey, the big storm's coming, Mama, the water's started to rise. You better start to take cover, try to find a place you can hide. Yeah, go of your grievances, it's time to move on. Say a little prayer, Mama, we might all be gone. Big storm's coming, Mama, the water's started to rise. Yeah, the big rain is coming, Mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the rich folks all leaving, the big boats already left town. Well, I got a rusty old bucket and a busted old knife. Don't look like much, but it might save your life. Big rain's coming, mama, better start to batten it down. Well, I got a busted old bucket and a rusty old knife. Don't look like much, but it might save your life. Big rain is coming, mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the big rain is coming, mama, better start to batten it down. Hey, the big rain is coming, mama, better start to batten it down. Thank you very much. Want to hop up and hang out? Come on. Let me set this down so I don't bonk any little heads here. Everybody say hi to Liam.
Say hi.
Can you wave to the camera? So Liam's favorite song that I know anyhow. There's a lot that I haven't learned. He likes Eat apples and bananas. I haven't learned all of that one yet though, but his favorite still is Elmo's song, I think. La 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 la. So that's enough of that. He's heard it enough. La 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 la. So here's a little bit of big blues stop knocking at my door. Blues stop knocking at my door. Can't you see my heart is sore? Blues stop knocking at my door. What chance has this heart of mine? I keep losing all the time. Blues stop knocking at my door. Oh, why can't misery set me free and let my love come back to me? Everything I do is wrong. In a crowd, I'm all alone. Blues stop knocking at my door. Why should I feel so blue? I've tried so hard to be true. Blues stop knocking at my door. Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Oh, why can't misery set me free and let my love come back to me? Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Oh, why can't misery set me free and let my love come back to me. Send my lover back to me. Yeah, no more will there be blues knocking at my door. Blues knocking at my door. Oh, blues, stop knocking at my door. Thank you, baby. The kids getting ready to leave. This is a song called Gypsy Sally's, down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, name taken, of course, from the great song Tecumseh Valley by Townes Van Zandt. That's Katie getting her 2 cents in there back in the background. She probably wants a dog treat. She usually gets one about this time of the show. But she also hasn't eaten. Did I tell you? I only fed her half, so she's probably a little hungry also. But I spent a lot of time playing in bars and honky tonks and some rough places from time to time, and just kind of checking out the characters and the local sort of heroes, people that hung out in these places, and some of them really were characters. But I kind of populated this song with some people from old songs, some old folk songs, blues songs, and some of the people that actually used to play this kind of music. This is called Down at the Bar at Gypsy Sally's. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, just to be cool and you'll be alright. You can pick your pills or pick your poison, but man, you sure don't pick a fight. She's got a shotgun in the corner. She keeps a shiv behind the bar. And if someone tries to play some masquerade, man, they sure won't get too far. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, Stacker Lee is shooting pool. Little Walter's in the alley, making a mess of some poor fool. Lightning's in the corner. Frankie Lee is with the band. When Thelma pulls a pistol out, says she's going to shoot some man. You know, it's not some grand illusion. Yeah, it's not some wicked dream. The whiskey smells like dynamite and tastes like kerosene. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's, no one ever asks your name. Delilah's taking numbers, but no one seems to know the game. Caledonia's drinking at the bar. The Wolfman's on the prowl. Just before the sun comes up, you might hear him start to howl down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's. Down at the bar at Gypsy Sally's. Thank you, baby. Are you taking off? See you later, mister. Thank you for coming over. Love you too. Blowing kisses. So Liam's taking off. He'll get a little snooze on the way home. Thanks for coming out.
Of course. See you tomorrow for a hike.
Okay. So as I've said before, I grew up out in San Bernardino, and at the time that Susie grew up there also, we both grew up kind of the same time. But at the time that I was growing up there was a couple that lived there. A fellow by the name of Jim Ringer and his partner, Mary McCaslin, who played and sang wonderfully together. And to all of us, that lived there at that time, that were trying to figure out how to do this sort of thing, play guitar and sing, they were kind of heroes to us because they had albums out, they toured, they had their songs on the folk music program at the local station, at the local college, Valley College there, KVCR. And they played the local acoustic music room, the Penny University. I used to play there on, they had an open mic night, a hoot night I think they called it, and a hoot nanny, and as Susie said, but I played there on the hoot, and I was just trying to learn how to do this sort of thing. So I would play every Wednesday that I could, and occasionally, one or two times, they hired me to play as an opening act for the weekend shows. Never Jim and Mary, which I'm sorry about, but Jim and Mary did play the weekend shows. They played either Friday or Saturday or sometimes both nights. And so, as I said, they were heroes to a lot of us. So a few years ago, my friend Brantley Kearns and I recorded an album together, and I recorded a couple of their songs I'll do right now. Song by Jim, his song about his first love and growing up in the San Joaquin Valley, called Rachel, and Mary's song about her time when she first got to San Bernardino, called the San Bernardino Waltz, beautiful and heartbreaking. So I'll do those songs for you right now. Rachel was a girl I used to love when I was young. You should have heard the love songs that I sung. You should have heard the way we talked walking by the stream, barefoot through the meadow by the lazy sand walking. Rachel was a melody that I first learned to sing. The sorceress just barely entertains. A skinny dip inside to see with freckles everywhere. The plain and faded hand-me-down with wildflowers in her hair. She had a way of saying this was never gonna end. And good night like a lover, good morning like a friend. Rachel was a watermelon ripe and freshly stole. The first girl that I ever loved, the first lie that I told. Rachel laughed and Rachel sang and Rachel held my hand. Rachel watched me grow into a man. Rachel sat and listened to me when I told a lie. Rachel waved me out of sight when I said goodbye. The San Joaquin still rolls along where me and Rachel stroll. But the meadows turned to parking lots, me and Rachel's old. Rachel's just a memory that I still like to hold. The first girl that I ever loved, the first lie that I told. The first girl that I ever loved, the first lie that I told. To this hot, dusty town to be with the lover I found. The people were all standing around for the San Bernardino Waltz. She didn't like the love that I made. She had some ideas for my age. Change partners for the big promenade and the San Bernardino Waltz. I tried doing the best that I can to be seen as the most wanted man. I'm not ready to change partners again for the San Bernardino Waltz. I feel like an outlaw in town, the way my name keeps going round. My ears have grown tired of the sound of the San Bernardino Waltz. So farewell to the gray, hazy skies that hide all the mountains so high. Farewell to them all standing by, and the San Bernardino Waltz. the San Bernardino Waltz. So that's Jim Ringer and Mary McCaslin. And as I said, we were all kind of in San Bernardino at the same time. But I didn't really know them at the time. And I never really knew Jim. He was gone. He's been gone for a number of years. A little too soon. I'm very sorry, sad to say, but I've gotten to know Mary very well. I talked to her and her husband Greg, her current husband Greg, just a week or so ago. They live not too far from here, out in Hemet area, and we've seen them a few times. Certainly not over the last year. Mary has some health issues now. I'm very sorry about that, but. Otherwise, they're doing fine. Mary has retired, but I got to know Mary really pretty well a few years ago. She and I got together. I learned some of the songs that she and Jim had sang together, some of Jim's parts, some of Jim Ringer's parts, and we went and did a number of shows around California, Northern California, and even back east, where we would each play a short set of our own songs and then play a longer set of songs that she and Jim had done. And that was a wonderful, wonderful experience for me at the time. And I got to know Mary very well. I love her dearly. And I got to know a little bit more about their story. And sometime after that, I wrote this song. And it kind of tells their story, my version of it, as I've kind of learned about it over the years. This is called the Angel Mary. It's called the Angel Mary and the Rounder Jim, and it name checks the old, and it's still ongoing, but long running, I should say, folk music festival, Sweets Mill, that takes place in the foothill areas up above Fresno. And I got a wonderful package from Evo Bluestein, a book about that he wrote about the festival. So he was very kind and sent that to me actually a little while ago. I just got it recently because he sent it to the post office box for Tres Pescadores for my record label, and I had not seen any of those guys until recently, but wonderful, wonderful book. Thank you for that, Evo. Thank you very much. So this is called The Angel Mary and the Rounder Jim. Deep in the summer, before the fall, a place called Sweets Mill, as I recall. Days of music, of wine and song, a peaceful place where we all belong. She sang the high notes with a voice so pure, and he was full of old songs, strong and sure. It just seemed to happen like it had always been when the Angel Mary met the Rounder Jim. Two voices singing, two hearts entwined, songs that grew from the true vine. They rode the hard road, both end to end, the Angel Mary and the Rounder Jim. Well, he'd been a farm boy, he'd worked the fields, and her past held secrets not yet revealed. with a borrowed guitar and a borrowed car and a borrowed suitcase just to see how far. Fortune smiled, the songs rang true, they traveled far, their legend grew. But trouble came on a devil wind and caught the angel Mary in the rounder gin. Two voices singing, two hearts entwined, songs that grew from the true vine. They rode the hard road, both end to end, the angel Mary and the rounder Jim. The seasons come, and the seasons fade, and the ones we love seem to drift away. The good songs stay deep within, like the angel Mary and the rounder Jim. Deep in the summer, before the fall, a place called Sweet's Mill, as I recall. So that's my song about Mary and Jim Ringer and Mary McCaslin. And if you are not familiar with them, do yourself a favor and look up some of those older albums. They made one album with both of their names on it. It's called The Bramble and the Rose, and it's wonderful from beginning to end. But all during the time that they were, during that time, both of their albums featured both of them singing and playing. So you can get a pretty big dose of them from any of their albums from that era. So I was going to do a few songs kind of in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. That's not right. Which was just this past Wednesday. I'm going to do a song that I wrote about my great-grandfather, John Shea, who was the first in my line of the Sheas to emigrate here to the States. And he was the first to enlist from the state of New Hampshire in the Union Army. He was captured by Confederate troops at Port Jefferson, the battle for the Port Jefferson. There's memorials there, but if you ever look at a map, it's a point that sticks out. The Mississippi River comes around, so strategically it was a vital point at that time as far as controlling the flow of supplies up and down the Mississippi. The Southern Army, the Confederate Army, up to that point had controlled the Mississippi because they had held on to Port Jefferson. And there was a long siege, many years, 2-3 years, I think, because it was up on a hill. It was just strategically very difficult. He was captured at Port Jefferson and then held in prisoner of war camps, 2 different camps for a number of years until the end of the war. And he used to tell a story. He said that the reason that he survived, the camps were, of course, desperate desperate conditions, starvation conditions. And the reason he survived, he said, this is an old family story. He said that he when he got lonesome, when he got tremendously homesick, and just he would go out and sing, somewhere close to the edge of the camp as he could get safely, I guess. And one time he was out there singing an old song in Gaelic, in the old Irish language. And a young girl outside the camp heard him singing. This is the way he told the story, and it was handed down. She heard him singing this song. She was from County Kerry also, where he was from. And she approached him carefully up by the fence. They began to speak. They became friendly. And after that, she snuck him food. And he said that that's the only reason he survived his time at the camp. So all the rest of us, our family, is here for the sake of a song, which is kind of an amazing. But I think all of us, if you just look back not very far, are all here from just amazing circumstances, things that happened, things that might not have happened. It's all an amazing thing. This is a bit of the story of how we ended up here. This is called John Shea from Kenmare. Well, I traveled here from old Kenmare. My name it is John Shea. In these words I sang the reason that I'm standing here today. At Port Hudson I was in the rear. They took us by surprise. First to Libby Prison, then to rot there at Belle Isle. Yeah, the 8th Regiment from Nashua, an oath I signed in blood, to a camp that's filled with cholera, pleurisy, and mud. 4,000 men they brought here, 400 that remain. And every day's a struggle with the hunger, cold, and pain. Well, I wish I was on yonder hill. There I'd go, cry my fill, and every tear would turn a mill. Shoo, 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 la. Yeah, well, they took our boots, they took our coats, no blankets could be found. And the dead were left for days on end to rot there on the ground. No wood to build a fire, black water from a ditch. Them that dared to speak a word would feel the trigger's itch. Yeah, well, I would have perished there, I know, so broken and alone. Far from the streets of old Kenmare, my family and my home. But for a young girl near the camp who heard me sing this song, she ventured close and asked my name and whispered to be strong. Well, I wish I was on yonder hill, 'cause there I'd go and cry my fill. Every tear would turn a mill. Shoo, 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 la. Well, I stand here now to testify to the horror that I've seen. And my life I owe to that young girl and the bread she brought to me. hidden there at such a risk by branches, rocks, and leaves. A young girl from County Kerry is the reason that I'm free. Yeah, well, I traveled here from old Kenmare. My name is John Shea. And these words I sing the reason that I'm standing here today. And all that follows from me and follows from them too should be glad to hear the words of this sad and mournful tune. Well, I wish I was on yonder hill, so there I'd go and cry my fill, and every tear would turn a mill. Shoo, 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 la, shoo, 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 la, shoo, 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 la. Thank you, baby. Oh, thank you. Susie's telling me this guitar sounds good. This is a guitar that I built about 10 years ago. A little guitar building class down at the fret house where I work, or used to work, or probably will start again. But who knows what's going to happen when this is all over? Oh, man. But I think we're kind of getting through it here, folks. But yeah, I built this guitar and kind of played it for a number of years and then set it aside. I've got two other acoustic guitars, Martin guitars. And then I pulled this one out a few weeks ago, and I've really been enjoying it again. So, but I realized when I was singing the song that it's actually Port Hudson and not Port Jefferson. I don't know what I was thinking. I almost have to be singing the lyrics to get to that part to remember correctly. But anyhow, it's Port Hudson, where the big battle was on the Mississippi that my great-grandfather John Shea was captured and taken first to Libby Prison. But the other thing in that song is that I sort of adapted an older... It's not tremendously old, but it was a popular song actually at that time. Shul Arun. The information I got was it was a popular song at that time, and it very likely could have been the song that he was singing. So I adapted the chorus from that song. Shul Arun. I wish I was on yonder hill, and there I'd go and cry at my fill. I kind of adapted the chorus to the sort of refrain of this song, John Shea. Or that song that I just did. I'm going to do a song from my album from 2017. This is a blues called Sweet Little Mama. Little mama, who does your light shine on? Sweet little mama, who does your light shine on? I'm standing in the shadows, all I ever had is gone. Sugar in the morning will last the whole day through. Sugar in the morning will last the whole day through. Sugar in my coffee, baby, tastes just like you. I'm going to the city where nobody knows my name. I'm going to the city where nobody knows my name. Hey, all the streets are full of strangers. Everybody looks the same. Tell me, little mama, where did you stay last night? Tell me, little mama, where did you stay last night? Did you stop to think about me when you turned out the lights? Sweet little mama, who does your light shine on? Sweet little mama, who does your light shine on? I'm standing in the shadows, all I ever had is gone. Well, I'm standing in the shadows, all I ever had is gone. So that's my that's a song called "Sweet Little Mama" from my album "The Town Where I Live." I keep dropping this. Current album is "Love and Desperation," and I think I'm gonna do that song right now. And this album has still been getting just really tremendous reviews. I'm so flattered and so happy. Got another one from England, I think from UK. I'm picking up stuff here. Liam kind of helps me out here and scatters my stuff around for me. And still been getting just wonderful reviews, and I just couldn't be happier about it. Thank you so much. It occurred to me earlier this week that this weekend, it was 1 year ago this weekend, that I started doing these live stream shows, Facebook live shows. This was the first week of the shutdown. It wasn't this date. I think it was, I can't remember the date, but so it's been a year exactly now.
Would it have been the 19th last year?
It could have been the 19th. That sounds right. So, of course, last month in February, I did shows every Saturday all the way through January of this year. And then in February, I started doing shows on the first Saturday and the third Saturday. And the last show 2 weeks ago we did at the Fret House, and I'll continue to do that. I'm pretty sure. I mean, we have to kind of see as we go and make sure it works out for them down there. But that is the plan, to do the first Saturday of every month live from the Fret House. Wonderful concert room, and I'm very, very happy to be able to do that. I'm very happy that it's working out, and with a microphone and lights and everything, and a little bit of an audience, which is very, very, very nice. Although I'm lucky enough to have an audience here. Susie is here with me every week, and Nikki and Jesse and Liam were here. So I'm very, very, very fortunate in both rooms, I should say. I'm going to read a few names here and say hello to people. Martha up there in Vermont. Martha Rowley. Love you, Martha. Has been so supportive for so long. Thank you very much. Joy, my sister Joy, out there in Rialto. Is your mom there at your sister's? Is your mom there with Joy? You don't know?
Joy didn't say.
So we don't know, but if you are, I love you, Guggum. My mother-in-law, Susie's mom, I know her as Guggum and as Jenny and as Juanita. But anyhow, hello to Joy and Jenny, or Joy and Guggum. Cheryl out in San Bernardino, longtime friend. Debbie and Kathy are both work partners of Susie's. Thank you very much, Debbie and Kathy. And today is Kathy's birthday, so happy birthday to you, Kathy. Thank you for tuning in on your birthday. I'm very, very flattered. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. Nancy Moore down there in Texas from, I forget the call letters of the station, damn it. So anyhow, Nancy is down there and has had me on the radio. Been a host to have me on the radio down there in Dallas a number of times. Nancy, please post the call letters for because I'm an idiot and I've forgotten. Ken Stahl down there in Austin, Texas. Ken, a great supporter of so many artists and so much music. Thank you for tuning in, Ken. Mike Donahue up there in Chicago World. Thank you for tuning in. Mike is part of the train tribe, all of the wonderful and amazing people that I rode trains with all throughout the western United States. And I never went to Canada, but we made a trip to Alaska also year before last. Dina the Wolf out there in Salton Sea area, also part of the train tribe. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Dina, for both tuning in. My niece Rebecca, is that correct? Is also out there in Rialto, is listening with Junior and Audrey, I'm going to guess. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you all. Joey Stafford, great, great drummer, who I've played with oh gosh, I'm going to forget now. But anyhow, Joey is another inland. No, you're out in this area. I think Joey's used to be an Inland Empire guy. Anyhow, thank you, Joey, for tuning in. Bob Ellis down there in Houston. I think things have settled down a bit in Texas for you and everybody. Nancy, everybody there in Texas. Oh my God, I'm so sorry everything you had to go through. I'm glad everything is better. Thank you for tuning in, Bob. Randall Stewart, big supporter. Thank you, Randall and Mona. Mona is usually listening. They've come to so many shows locally. They're in Southern California area, kind of Pasadena, sort of. Thank you, Randall. Bill Kuhn up there, also part of the train tribe up there in Seattle, Washington. Thank you for tuning in. Bob and Terry Nickham, big supporters. I know Bob and Terry for so long. They've been coming to my shows for longer than I can even say now. It's been so long, so many years. So Coyote Moon, which is Adrian's Ace Rice, Adrian Rice's band, Coyote Moon. So I hope that means the whole band is watching. So thank you all, everybody in Coyote Moon. I'm very, very flattered that you would tune in. Kaz Murphy out there in Desert Hot Springs. Kaz is a wonderful, amazing songwriter and artist in himself. Please do yourself the favor and look up Kaz Murphy. Shelley Fetterman, who has also been also part of the train tribe and has been so generous and sent me so many wonderful books and maps and everything. Thank you so much. Shelley is also a big fan of my song. John Shea from Kenmare and went and visited the historic battleground there, the national park or whatever it is there at Port Hudson. Port Hudson. Make sure I get that right. Mona, as I said, Mona and Randall are good friends, and they come to many, many shows here locally. Adrian Rice of Coyote Moon, Ace, thank you for tuning in. Sharon Allen up in, thank you, Ace, thank you so much for tuning in. My friend Sharon Allen up in Boulder Creek area, up there by Santa Cruz, and I hope everything is good with you up there. Sharon is just a wonderful, wonderful singer. I met her through Sherry Austin, and we played the Kate Wolf Festival together with Sherry's band. Sharon has her own band, is married to the great drummer Jimmy. Jimmy, I'm forgetting your last name. Please forgive me, but Jimmy has played with everybody and anyone in that area and produces albums and is just a wonderful, wonderful musician. Sharon and Jimmy. Diane Hupka, thank you for tuning in. My son Matt and his girlfriend Amber are tuned in. And also Jesse and Nikki, who were here earlier, have made it all the way home. The miracle of modern transportation, and now they are tuned in. Hope the baby's doing good. Wonderful, wonderful to see you all. My son Matt was over here today for the first time since before Christmas. We haven't seen, just like everybody, we really haven't been seeing anybody for the most part, and have been as extremely careful as we can be. But Susie and I are all vaxxed up now. And we're just waiting for the binge drinking and the orgies to start. Everybody else has got to get caught up and get vaccinated, and we'll get started. So anyhow, we're looking forward to it. Here's the title track to this album. This is called Love and Desperation, and this is that song. And a little bit of personal history in here from my wild and misspent youth. And my parents, as I've said before, were not good at the parenting gig, but I was pretty wild as a kid, so I never really held it against them. But everybody makes an appearance here, kind of in a dramatic, sort of dramatized version, I guess. This is called Love and Desperation. Yeah, well, someone robbed the northern Maine, flew off south in a driving rain. You think they might not know your name, but they know your reputation. Yeah, well, a dark-skinned gal is good to me, sweet and kind as she can be. She knows things that I can't see, but she tells no tales or stories. Yeah, my brother walks a lonesome road, tired eyes a heavy load, believes the things that he's been told, but he holds no expectations. Yeah, well, Nashville is a rugged town, picks you up and knocks you down, leaves you in the lost and found without a word or warning. Yeah, well, the devil plays a crooked game. The odds are long and dead as aim. You know you'll play him just the same, 'cause you can't resist temptation. Yeah, my mother was a wild thing. She loved to dance, she loved to sing. But she left one day in early spring 'cause her children were a burden. Yeah, well, my father was a solemn man, steady voice, a steady hand, but there were things he did not understand about love and desperation. Yeah, well, someone robbed the northern Maine and flew off south in a driving rain. You think they might not know your name, but they know your reputation. Yeah, you think they might not know your name. Yeah, but they know your reputation. So that's the title track, Love and Desperation. Thank you, baby. Were you clapping? Oh, she's got things in her hands, but she's trying to clap. Trying to clap with a bunch of stuff in her arms. But so I want to apologize to anybody that I forgot to mention in there. I think there are oftentimes many people that I don't mention, and I apologize. Jeff and Kathy Kervink are always listening, so I want to say hi and thank you to them. And of course, my sister Cindy and her husband Jim, my brother-in-law up there in Sparks, Nevada, are always listening. So I want to say hi, I love you to my sister and my brother-in-law Jim. Here's Katie getting her little appearance. All you really see are the ears. There's those ears. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But we gave her a bath this week because we went up hiking last week on our favorite trail up in the San Gabriel Mountains. And it was a very lovely day. It was a beautiful day. We have the trail to ourselves. And Katie found some coyote shit to roll in and brought that home and just smelled terrible for days. So we gave her a bath on St. Patrick's Day. Not for any particular reason. That just worked out to be the day to do it. It was a warm day here. So she's all brushed and all smelling. Well, you're smelling better. You still smell like a dog, but she smells a lot better than she did. So what is she howling about now? Did she get a treat? She got everything? She's working on a treat. She got her food. So she kind of works us a little bit. I'm going to do a song that was on a few albums ago. And this is, again, kind of in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. This is a story of an older Irish fellow who travels to the gold fields in California and kind of what he encounters along the way. And one of my favorite things about California is it's the place. California is still the place in many people's minds and maybe everybody's, I don't know, but it's still, for many people, it's where you go to become something else, to chase a dream, show business, music, the tech industry, so many things. California is just, it's just sort of a place to go and reinvent yourself or rediscover yourself. You know, in Merle Haggard's wonderful song, If We Make It Through December, that's part of the chorus. You know, he sings, you know, I have plans to be in a better place come summertime. And then he sings, maybe even California, in the most hopeful way. Sort of brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it. So California has always represented that. And to me, it's from the very beginning, even before the, I mean, many people will argue that, you know, the white settlers and gold rush people ruined it. And it'd be a tough argument to have to fight against. But anyhow, it's, you know, even before that, I think certainly the Spanish here were coming here in search of gold, and the Native Americans, you know, maybe it represented the same sort of, it's just it's a wonderful place, and it's kind of a place you go to follow your dreams in so many ways. So I wrote this song, and I kind of tacked onto it, as I said, as a story of an older Irish fellow coming to the gold fields in California. And I tacked onto it this, just sort of this refrain that I imagine sounded, it was sort of a cattle call sounding Robbie. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Dark is the hollow and deep is the pine, where the lonesome old whippoorwill calls. There was once that I thought I had nothing but time, back when I stood straight and tall, back when I stood straight and tall. You tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Away on the water and out on the plains, through deserts too hot to believe, Coloma is where men were staking their claims, between blacklegs and swindlers and thieves, blacklegs and swindlers and thieves. So I buried my hands in a cold mountain stream and found gold at McCollumney Hill. I was chasing the ghost of the old Spanish dream and caught a thirst that no liquor could kill. Caught a thirst that no liquor could kill. You tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Well, a fool and his money will quickly part ways, and a fool I shall evermore be. Gambling and whoring and drinking for days, shit-faced and too blind to see, shit-faced and too blind to see. Oh, Maggie, sweet Maggie, have nothing but shame, just a drunk with his last dollar bill. They say that in love no one's ever to blame, and I hear your voice calling me still. I hear your voice calling me still. Dog kisses. You tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Now the leaves may have fallen, and the waters run dry, but the moon still shines up above. It shimmers and sparkles with silver and gold in the night like a bright shining dove. In the night like a bright shining dove. You tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. Tie Robbie, tie Robbie, tie ro. You're welcome, baby. That song usually makes Susie cry. It doesn't look like it made her cry this time, but she's looking a little misty. And I didn't really kiss Katie there. She's got unbelievable tongue, and she will give you the whole tongue if you let her. She did that to me once when I was exercising on the floor, and I had my eyes closed. I wasn't really watching. She kind of came up next to me. I didn't see her come up next to me, I had my mouth open. I guess I was panting or something. I don't know. But I was kind of doing some exercises. And so she came up for a kiss, and I wasn't there. I didn't say stop or anything like that. And she gave me her whole tongue. The whole tongue went into my mouth. I was going, oh! It was a shock. I was shocked. So she's got some tongue. Anyhow, I'm going to do a song also from that album. That song is called, or that album is, that's Shelter Valley Blues. So Ty Robbie is on Shelter Valley Blues, and this next song also. This next song I wrote for Susie. I wrote for my sweet little Susie. This is called Sweet Little Pocha, and it's about her. It's all true for the most part, you know. And her large extended family. I've told the story how my dad was in the service. So in the service, they transfer you around, and it's for a reason. It's to remove you from your extended family so that your ties are to the organization. It's, you know, I won't go into that, but anyhow, so, and my family was, you know, fairly dysfunctional in its way. Many families are, and both my parents had strange childhoods themselves. I'm sorry, my Aunt Kathy, if you happen to be listening. My Aunt Kathy is my dad's sister, and sometimes she's listening, but it really seemed like it was a strange childhood for both of my parents. Maybe my mom especially, but certainly my dad too. It's kind of a strange, but it was a different time, a different era, different generation. Everything was different. They lived through the Great Depression. World War II. My father was an Air Force colonel, a military officer. He went to West Point. He watched an atom bomb go off. That's something. And he broke the sound barrier by himself in a jet, if I'm correct, 3 different times. So he did some shit. But as far as paying attention to their kids and raising kids, they were not so good at that. So we had our own little dysfunctional unit that kind of traveled around the country. So when we got to California, or a few years later, it was after I was out of high school, it was, when I met Susie's family, you know, they all, I mean, it was the whole extended family at that time, at least, was still in San Bernardino. Susie knows second cousins. Did you tell me you know third cousins, or do I just make that part up?
No, thirds, my cousin's children.
So she knows some of her cousins' children, which are third cousins. So they really, at that time still, and even now, they still keep in touch. At that time, they still got together most weekends. So for me to be brought into a large extended family like that was an amazing experience for me. Wonderful. They accepted me. Just been, and it's been a large, loving family, and it's been a wonderful experience. And so I wrote this song about it. I forget where I was going with that part of the story. My apologies, but I have a clock in my head that starts ticking, you know, when I've been talking for a long time, and it starts saying, you know, you've been talking for a long time, and I feel like I should get started singing. So that clock is going off. So I'm just going to go ahead and sing this song. It's called Sweet Little Pocha. It's got this pretty nifty guitar lick that I start the song with that I kind of nicked from my friend Rosie Flores. But Rosie is a very kind and generous person. I called her up and I said, Rosie, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't realize it at the time until like after it was pretty much solidly a part of the song. I may have even started to record it. Rosie's wonderful. She just said, oh, you know, what a, you know. But I included her on the songwriting credits anyhow. So this is called Sweet Little Pocha. sunny little smile, a wrinkle on her chin, sexy little giggle that puts me in a spin. She listens to her mother talking Spanish, but she'll never reply. She's quick to change her story if you catch her in a bind. Sweeter than a cupcake till you step over the line. Raspas from the freezer for the kids on the 4th of July. She knows every single cousin and every birthday, all the old stories and how they used to play. Everybody loves to see her. She always brings a kiss and a smile. She's a perfect little blossom from a perfect little bud, a crazy little angel straight from heaven above. She's my sweet little poacher, the only girl that I'll ever love. Can spot a bargain quicker than a wink. Shove it in her pocket before you even blink. Helps her mama sell tamales and fortunes at a table outside. She loves the Gary Cooper and Hedy Lamarr, every old film and every old star. She cries when she hears a mariachis, but I never know why. She can start to get a little bit jealous when she gets that little look in her eye. I start to think about what I did. I start to looking for a place to hide. She's a perfect little blossom from a perfect little bud, a crazy little angel straight from heaven above. She's my sweet little poacher, the only girl that I'll ever love. Shorties for breakfast, salsa in a cup, homemade tortillas, I can never get enough. She's my sweet little poacher, the only girl that I'll ever love. She's my sweet little poacher, the only girl that I'll ever love. She's my sweet little poacher, the only girl that I'll ever love. So that's a song about my sweet little Susie called Sweet Little Poacher, and both of those last two songs are from an album called Shelter Valley Blues. And that album came out in 2009, I believe. So, and about that guitar lick, it was only the first part of it that I kind of nicked from Rosie Flores, as I said. That sort of thing happens, you know. I mean, occasionally. Usually you'll figure it out on your own. You'll kind of get excited about something and you'll go, oh, wow, that's, you know. And I guess I did at a certain point. But, you know, at a certain point you go, that sounds like it might be something. Then it usually comes to you where it came from, actually. So... So I'm going to go way back here and do a song that's on, it's on an album that's sort of barely released, but it's kind of a collection of my first recordings. The first album I ever released, I released on cassette tape only, which is kind of an oddball thing, but it's goofy, and I like that. It's kind of that makes, I get a kick out of that, I guess, but... And did pretty well with it. Sold out a couple of runs of it, you know. I was selling them for $5 each. I sold a whole bunch. But my friend Cody Bryant, Jeff Ruff, really liked it a lot. He liked all of the songs on that. And so after I made that album and released it, I made an album called The Buffalo Show with my friend Gary Mandel. And that came out in 92 or 3, I guess, or 4. I have to look back now. But... but sometime after that, Jeff Ruff, my friend Cody Bryant, got in touch with me and wanted to re-release the songs that were on. It was called Outside of Nashville. I had a song called or I have a song called Outside of Nashville. I almost never sing it. Haven't sang it for many, many years. But Cody wanted to release all the songs that were on that cassette tape, so I got the master tapes, and we converted them to digital and everything that needed to be done. Amazingly, it all worked. And I recorded 5 or 6 other songs. And then he released that album on a label that he had at the time. So anyhow, and that album is called Shaky Ground. And I have copies of that if anybody is interested. And it got some great reviews. But I released an album almost immediately afterwards that had all new songs on it. And that one kind of got all of the attention. It probably wasn't great planning or anything like that, but we didn't know at the time. So anyhow, this is a song called Cold and Lonely Shadows that's on that album called Shaky Ground, yeah. I think I'm starting it right. Anyhow. Cold and lonely shadows, rain outside my door. There's no one here to talk with, nothing to do but walk the floor. I've got no plans, no expectations. Since you've gone, I'm all alone. All night I cry into my pillow. All day I sit here by the phone. The rain keeps falling down inside my window. The blues are raining down inside my heart. There's got to be some way to stop this hurting. Oh, baby, won't you show me where to start? Cold and lonely shadows, rain outside my door. Since you've gone, the rain keeps falling. Lonely shadows on the floor. The rain keeps falling down outside my window. The blues are raining down inside my heart. There's got to be some way to stop this hurting. Oh, baby, won't you show me where to start? Cold and lonely shadows, rain outside my door. Since you've gone, the rain keeps falling. Lonely shadows on the floor. Lonely shadows on the floor. Lonely shadows on the floor. Thank you, baby. So that's Cold and Lonely Shadows. So back in those days, we all played. I still played in a lot of bars and honky tonks, and we used to do songs like that. That song reminds me of the Patsy Cline songs. You know, those cool old shuffles, Walking After Midnight. The dancers loved those songs, and we loved to play them. I was kind of moving away from playing, and those places were going away at that time also, and going to recorded music, and the line dancers were coming in and taking over. And I don't have anything against, I'm always happy to see anybody having a good time, you know, whoever, or however it is, or anything like that. But the line dancers were not as interested in the dancing that, you know, that we had been playing to. They wanted to hear more. A lot of it's kind of rock sort of music beats. And they were much happier even with recorded music quite a bit of the time. So, and there's still a number of places that present that sort of thing, but I haven't been playing as much for quite a long time. But this is another song from that era. I say this often, for better or worse, I got a lot of my musical education in bars and honky tonks. That's, you know, I played in places, there were so many places, dozens and dozens of places all around Southern California. And every neighborhood had 1, 2, or 3 of these bars or clubs, or, you know, and some of them would be more country music. Some of them might be a little bit more rock and roll. There were certainly blues clubs. I tended to play the country places for the most part, but you got a mix of people in all of them. Like you would certainly be playing at least some Chuck Berry type rock and roll any night in a honky tonk or any of the country bars, and some blues songs also. So there was always a real mix of songs. But one of the things I got exposed a lot, I mean, I was already listening to Hank Williams and older country music, but this is where I heard it with the guys that I was playing with were the guys that's what they had grown up on. That's all they knew. I played with, you know, I had grown up, my exposure to country music came a little bit later when I was in high school, and maybe a little bit before that, but these are guys that were just, it was country music from the day they were born, and that's really what they knew. And a lot of Hank Williams, a lot of George Jones, and a lot of Merle Haggard. But this is a Hank Williams song that I loved back in that era. I still love it. It's called the Honky Tonk Blues. Well, I left my home out on the rural route. Told my pop I'm going stepping out and get the honky tonk blues. Hey, the honky tonk blues. Oh, Lord, I've got the honky tonk blues. Well, I went to a dance and I wore out my shoes. Woke up this morning wishing I could lose these jumping honky tonk blues. Hey, the honky tonk blues. Oh, Lord, I've got 'em. I got the honky tonk blues. Well, I stopped into every place in town. This city life has really got me down. I've got the honky tonk blues. Yeah, the honky tonk blues. Oh, Lord, I've got 'em. I've got the honky honky tonk blues. I'm gonna tuck my worries underneath my arm and scat right back to my pappy's farm and lose these honky tonk blues. Yeah, the honky tonk blues. Oh Lord, I've got the honky tonk blues. Yeah, I don't wanna be bothered. Yeah, with the honky tonk blues. Thank you, baby. Thank you, everybody out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize again for the rough start. Thank you all for hanging in. I'm sorry for anybody we may have lost because of that. As I said, technology-wise, I'm working at my absolute limit to make all of this work. So the amazing thing to me is that it has worked so well for so long, so often. So there's only been a few hiccups or anything. What am I doing? I need to leave that there. Very big hiccups like that. So I think I'm pretty fortunate. I'm going to do one more song that's kind of in honor of St. Patrick's Day to all our friends in Ireland that may be listening. Joyce Murnay, I think, is listening sometimes. My friend, now I'm kind of drawing some blanks here. Anyhow, all our friends in Ireland, our friends in Liverpool, and Chris Keenan. I don't want to forget Chris. Everybody, everybody in that time zone, Greenwich Mean Time, thank you all for tuning in, even if it's tomorrow at lunch or whatever when you finally watch the replay. Thank you. We appreciate it. So I will be back on April 3rd, I believe it is. So it's going to be like the first Saturday and the third Saturday. So the first Saturday in April, I believe, is April 3rd.
Yes.
And I'll be live from the Fret House, provided everything is still working, and I believe it still is. So look for me there. And please be careful. Wear your masks. I'm going to knock on a big piece of wood here, but I think we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And as Susie and I said, we're all vaxxed up, and we're waiting for the binge drinking and the orgies to start, Everybody, come on, let's get on the ball. Let's get past this thing. We got things to do. So this is an old song, maybe the oldest that I know. As I was going over Gilgary Mountain, I spied Colonel Pepper, and his money he was counting. I drew forth my pistols, and I rattled out my saber, singing, stand and deliver, for I am a bold deceiver. Mushroom, Durham died. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, them bright and shiny coins, they sure looked fat and jolly. So I put them in my pocket and I took them home to Molly. She laughed and she swore that she never would deceive me. But the devil's in the women, and they always lie so easy. Mushroom, Durham died. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. As I woke between the hours of 6 and 7, with guards standing around me in numbers odd and even, I flew to my pistols, but alas, I was mistaken. For Molly hid my pistols, and a prisoner I was taken. Mushroom, Durham died. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, they put me in a jail without a judge or jury for robbing Colonel Pepper in the morning, bright and early. But they didn't take my fists, so I knocked down a sentry, bid a fond farewell to that cold penitentiary. Mushroom, Durham died. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, there's some that take delight in lawns and a bowling, and some that take delight in the carriages a rolling. Me, I take delight in the fruit of the barley, courting pretty women in the morning, bright and early. Mushroom, Durham died. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. So go grab yourself a drink of whiskey. I may be having a little bit of whiskey tonight after that rough start. Again, my apologies. My thank you to everyone that's been listening. My apologies to anyone I might have forgotten to say hello to. Please be careful. Wear your masks. Things are getting better. And I'll see you again. We'll see you again on April 3rd, live from the Fred House. Good night.